look at somebody who was offering a bit of mentoring advice earlier on to Anna Porgras, Nadia Comaneci there, just talking the little 16-year-old Romanian through her routine, a gentle embrace there from Nadia. You can't really hope for a better mentor, can you, Christine?
Absolutely not. She was the first of this generation, not in this generation, but the first of the modern gymnasts to open everybody's eyes to what could really be achieved.
Yeah, a real superstar of the sport. We're going to hear from a little later, actually. She spoke to Matt, but let's get on with this competition and join and leave it with you, actually, our commentary team.
Well, thanks, Gabby. Jan Yilin, first gymnast to go. Will it be a shaky final? Well, yesterday, as you said, was all about China.
It's amazing. Quite often the first gymnast will set the scene, even though they're not a team. If the first gymnast gets off well, often they'll all follow. So let's hope she does, because she's beautiful. Well, safely through the acrobatic series, which is something that all gymnasts are pleased to have under their belt. Just not moving with quite the same fluency as we saw at the Olympics, and she's having to fight there. Although she didn't fall, and because of the nature of the move, she didn't really wobble. It was an error. As we've said before, a medium-sized error. The judges will be taking 0.3 away for that. Another little pause, but the free walkover, such a graceful, elegant move. And the free cartwheel. Jumps that are so difficult and that the Chinese gymnasts are so renowned for. The leap where you take your head right back, you lose sight of the beam, and you just have to hope that you've set it up straight, but she hadn't that time. Needs to dismount well. 2.5, she does that, but not at her best, Matt.
No, a beautiful, beautiful finish. I mean, I always find this final the hardest to watch. And just to put it into perspective for you, this beam is the width of a house brick. I mean, it's unbelievable what these girls do. Really is.
You talked about heading the acro series, Chris, and do you expect ever the Chinese to miss on leaps and jumps?
You don't, but she hasn't jumped very high, even that first leap. You know, her centre of gravity didn't go up very high off the beam. And she's quite slow, you know, she's taking her time. There we are, full twisting, Corbett flip. And you can see she's offline, really, has to fight to stay on. Now, this is the fall, you can see. She took the head right back, and the foot just wasn't in line with the beam. But this is obviously no problem. Easy 2.5.
But no such problems there. A tidy 2.5 twist dismount.
Lots of gymnasts in training, they kind of put mats over the beam, don't they? Chris, you'll know all about this. Superb coach. And then you kind of narrow things down a little bit.
Yeah, because they do so many repetitions, the gymnasts, it's quite often to have a thin mat over the beam when you're going to do, you know, 10 elements to stay on. But this, oh, look, she only had her foot half on the beam. She did really quite well not to have a nasty fall there. And of course, when they learn the moves, they put the mat over the beam and pile the mats up under, so that you don't just immediately launch yourself onto the beam. It's all very gradual.
Interesting point you made. If the first one goes on and misses, and you're next up, will they watch? Some watch, some don't.
Yes, they all march into the stadium, but they do have the option to then go back out to the warm-up gym, especially the last gymnasts in place 7 and 8 will probably go back out to the warm-up gym. But I suspect you'll be in for at least the 2 gymnasts before you. Otherwise, you just have to get used to the lights. They're quite bright.
Well, her score is in, and with that fall, she scores 13.125.